All right, I'm back after a week of work in Seattle, and I was able to get all 4 training days in, which was great, even though I had to get up at 4:30 each morning in order to be at the gym by 5, and then typically be in the office by 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And it got more difficult as the work week went on, only because with the time difference flying from Rhode Island to Seattle, the first day getting up at 4:30, which was really 7:30 my time, wasn't that bad, but as the week went on and I got more and more adjusted to the Pacific time zone, I was more and more fatigued each day. And plus, given my work schedule while there, which is in the office from pretty much 7:30 in the morning till around 7 o'clock at night, most nights, and being on my feet or being in very uncomfortable work chairs, it just really takes a toll on my hips, and my nutrition isn't on point, and there's a bunch of other factors which I could probably lay into here, but the bottom line is I find myself pretty fatigued during this week. That's why one of the things that I did with this AI coaching program is in advance, I set all of my fatigue levels for squat and deadlift at around an 8 level, which means it's going to drop the intensity and it's going to drop the volume some, and nothing really felt overly too taxing. And on some movements, I actually bumped up the weight I was supposed to use, or I bumped up the actual volume on that particular day because I felt I could handle it. But I feel pretty good, which is different than usual, because normally on my old programming I'd try to stick as closely as I could to the main compounds, and by the end of the week I'd be wrecked, and it would probably take a week for me to recover being at home. And I feel pretty fresh, and I'm really looking forward to getting my training back on point on Monday. So very excited about that. As part of that, one of the things I'd like to do probably in this next week is do a quick review of the AI coaching program that I've been running the last 8 weeks. Technically 9, because one of the weeks that I traveled to Chicago and Austin, I was only able to train 2 days, so I repeated a work week day, a work week. But that being said, I've liked it a lot, but I'll do a full review and kind of talk about some of the ins and outs that I've mentioned here on some of these training videos before. But for anyone interested, I do believe Garrett's running like a 30% off promo. It's not as good as the $1 for the first 4 blocks that he was running for a while, but it's still a pretty good discount, and I like the program a lot so far. So if you're interested in trying something out and you don't want to pay for a full-time coach, but you don't want to just run some random template you found online, I think this is a good medium. So here is my 3rd day of training, just some low bar squats, 4x4 with 405. One of the things with my accessory work, I did not really get too much into it. I would try to do obviously my main compounds, which are variations of squat, bench, deadlift. Then I also try to get some sort of pulling movement in, but other than that, I didn't really worry too much about accessory movements because, again, of lack of time. And it was hard to film in this gym as is. This gym has a very strict phone policy where they said, you know, even if you take your phone out to change music or look at your workout, they want you to go to like a separate area outside of the main space. As you can tell, it's not very big, their free weight area, so I really tried to get creative on some of these shots. The angles aren't great, but they are what they are, and again, I'm just glad I was able to get it in. So speaking of getting it in, I'm really excited to be back home. I love my home gym. One of the things I get asked all the time is, you know, do you miss going to commercial gyms? And no, I do not. And I do like sometimes playing around with equipment that I don't have access to, but at the end of the day, one of the reasons that I went the extra mile and spent more on some of the equipment I have at home is because it's exactly what I want, what I need, and I wouldn't want to go to any place else. So I really like it, and I'll say that as you watch these 1-inch pause deadlifts off the floor, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a lot of reviews and videos coming thanks to your suggestions, but we'll talk to you next time.